You've heard it 1,000 times, nice guys finish last. Cute saying, right? But Carl Jung discovered something that flips that cliché on its head, and trust me, it's terrifying. Because when the nice ones finally snap, they don't just stop being nice. They transform. And that transformation? Jung said it was one of the most disturbing yet awe-inspiring things he had ever witnessed in human psychology. Today, we're unpacking Jung's most chilling case, the day the empath awakens. And by the end of this, you'll never look at sensitivity the same way again. 1. The hidden superpower nobody talks about. Most people treat empaths like fragile crystal vases. Oh, they're just too sensitive. Handle with care, Jung. He didn't see fragility. He saw something closer to emotional fortresses. These people weren't weak. They were endurance champions of suffering. They absorbed alcoholic parents' rage, cheating partners' lies, manipulative bosses' tantrums, all while apologizing for existing. They were the emotional shock absorbers of society. But here's the kicker. While they endured the blows, they were also keeping records. Every betrayal, every eye twitch, every micro-expression. Their minds weren't diaries, they were war rooms. Silent, calculating, storing data like psychological black boxes. And if you've ever been underestimated because of your kindness, brace yourself. Jung discovered that weakness was just camouflage for something far more dangerous. 2. The empath's X-ray vision. When Jung tested these empaths, the results shocked even him. He'd introduce strangers, colleagues, new patients, random participants. Within minutes, empaths identified hidden childhood wounds, insecurity patterns, relationship problems with 90% plus accuracy. No tarot cards, no crystal balls, just raw observation. What most people dismiss as gut feeling, they treated as hard data. But here's the tragedy. Society gaslit them into silence. You're too sensitive. You're imagining things. Stop being dramatic. So they internalized it. They swallowed their insights. They doubted themselves. And that doubt is what kept the dam intact. But here's the thing about dams. Pressure builds. And when it breaks, it doesn't trickle, it floods. That flood was Jung's most terrifying discovery. 3. The snap. Betrayal as catalyst. The snap wasn't random. Jung noticed a consistent trigger. Betrayal, and not small betrayals. Massive ones by the very person the empath trusted most. Maybe it was infidelity, maybe financial deceit, maybe years of emotional manipulation finally exposed. Whatever the form, the impact was nuclear. At first, the empath reacted like always. Blamed themselves, tried harder, smiled wider, until suddenly, they didn't. Jung described the moment vividly. An eerie calm overtook them. Not hysteria, not chaos, calm. It was as if years of suppressed intelligence fused with their emotional genius, and in that silence, they began to speak truth, not with rage, with precision. Every lie, every manipulation, every hidden agenda, they laid it bare like surgeons dissecting an infected organ. Abusers expected screaming. They got scalpel-sharp clarity instead. And clarity terrifies more than rage ever could. And once clarity arrives, there's no going back. Jung realized he wasn't watching victims anymore. He was watching the birth of something new. 4. The integrated empath. After the snap, empaths didn't just recover, they upgraded. Still kind, but now selectively empathetic. Still caring, but ruthlessly strategic about where that care flowed. Predators sensed it immediately. Manipulators who once feasted on their compliance now felt exposed, nervous, like vampires shrinking from sunlight. Jung put it chillingly. The awakened empath doesn't need to announce their power. Others feel it in their bones. And the strangest part? Empaths didn't become cruel. They became balanced, compassion paired with boundaries, softness wrapped around steel. But this wasn't just a personal makeover. Jung found the transformation shook entire systems around them. 5. The ripple effect. The empath's awakening created shockwaves. In families, dysfunction collapsed, not because the empath destroyed it, but because they stopped holding it up. Alcoholic parents had to face their addictions. Manipulative siblings lost their favorite target. At work, colleagues couldn't gaslight them anymore. Toxic bosses felt exposed when their games stopped working. And in relationships, partners suddenly realized this wasn't the same person they could control with guilt trips or crocodile tears. Jung called it the mirror effect. The awakened empath becomes a walking truth serum. Their presence reflects reality back at people, raw and unfiltered. Manipulators hated it. Authentic people thrived in it. But the ripple effect was just the surface. The real terror came when Jung realized what the empath themselves had become. 6. The evolutionary leap. Jung tracked these cases for years. What he saw looked less like healing and more like evolution. These individuals could no longer be gaslit because they trusted their perceptions. They could no longer be manipulated because they spotted emotional games before they began. They could no longer be broken because they had already hit bottom and rebuilt stronger. Their sensitivity transformed into strategy. Their intuition became weaponized awareness. Jung wrote privately, "I have observed something beautiful and terrible. The kindest people became the strongest people because they finally trusted what they had always seen." And here's where Jung's blood ran cold. These integrated empaths had the ability to manipulate others as easily as they had once been manipulated. They simply chose not to. Imagine having X-ray vision into human psychology and the discipline to use it ethically. That's the integrated empath, which leads to Jung's most haunting insight. This wasn't just a case study. It was a roadmap for every empath alive today. 7. The choice. Every empath faces. Jung's research revealed that every empath eventually hits their snap point. The betrayal so deep it forces a choice. Stay broken or awaken. That journey isn't about becoming less sensitive. It's about evolving sensitivity into precision, from sponge to sword, from unconscious absorption to conscious choice. Most people fear empaths will explode with anger, but Jung showed the opposite. They don't lose their hearts. They grow backbones. They don't destroy everything in sight. They cut through illusions like scalpels. And here's the scary prophecy. Society isn't built to handle awakened empaths, because once you see manipulation, you can't unsee it. And once you stop apologizing for it, the game changes forever. So here's the challenge for you. If you've ever been dismissed as too sensitive, belittled for your emotions, or gaslit into silence, remember Jung's discovery. Your sensitivity isn't your weakness. It's your superpower. The only question is, will you choose to wield it consciously or wait until life forces your hand? If you're ready to awaken, drop this in the comments. I see you, but I don't need you. And subscribe for more explorations into the depths of the human mind. Because the world doesn't need more broken empaths. It needs more awakened ones. See you in the next dimension.